that should just be the norm. I feel like
Yeah.
it should be really good. Like
Yeah.
it should be really good to make, but it's not always the case.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like we just need to remember that we're not always going to make our best work.
Yeah.
And just to like push through that. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you're going to make shit work, and that's
Mm.
okay. Like you need to be able to fail. Like I think we chatted about this the other day as
Yeah.
well, and then kind of like let the soil kind of regenerate, and then
Yes.
you regrow from that. Like
Yeah.
you need to be able to experiment and not like your work, and
Yeah.
yeah.
How else are you going to keep moving forward with your
Mm.
ideas in different ways if there's no room for like failure? Kia ora.
Kia ora, Cindy. How you going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah.
Nice to catch up with you again as well.
I know, after all these years as well.
Ah.
Yeah. I know that we've kind of been like passing ships in a way, in our own different fields and whatnot. Like I feel like I've seen you around but haven't really caught up properly, so it's really nice to be on this together.
Yeah, it was so trippy to see you at Stephen's show at Wellington. Didn't even expect you to be there.
I think it's been like moments like that too, like at the Samoa House Library. I think there was something on there before. But it was really nice to reconnect because we worked together on a show that me and my friends created called Rest and Restoration, which was like in 2021. And how did you find out about like our kind of work, or more about like me? Was it just through that event?
Yeah, I think you had messaged me. I was just like sort of exploring art making back in Aotearoa again. And it was just post-COVID as well.
Yes.
And everyone was coming back out.
Yeah.
And I think you like messaged me, or I actually fully don't even remember.
I know. It was quite a while ago.
Hard out. How did you come across my work?
Yeah, I think it was through a mutual friend of ours, which I thought it was Wayman, but we were talking the other day and you were like, it wasn't, because I didn't know him back then.
No.
So I'm not sure who it was, but we were looking for other visual artists, and I felt like your work really resonated with our theme with Rest and Restoration, and it was kind of about burnout and post lockdowns and all of those feelings. And it was a beautiful short 4-day kind of show, but it was nice to have you involved and all of that. So
I know, you guys were so generous with your time and with your input as well on the curating of the work and your feedback as well, which was really lovely. I think it was the first time actually connecting with artists maybe outside of my own like studio space. I feel like that was the kind of start to me going out and just showing a bit more. I think that was probably my first show in Aotearoa.
Wow.
So that was a cool opportunity.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been I don't know, so much time has passed, but then also it wasn't that long ago. But a lot has happened since, and I guess we were talking before as well about when we caught up the other day, like I was finding it interesting when you said there was like this question of like, what do you dream of creating? And then you said along the lines of like, if I say what I am thinking of creating, like you tend to not go maybe do it because you're like, oh, I've already done it.
Yeah, literally, I've got that dopamine hit. I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to go paint. Like I've already talked about it.
So like, how does that work for like your creative practice? Like, because is it just saying it out loud? Is that the main part, or is it kind of just even thinking, like dreaming of it, of the work? Yeah,
I think the what I envision and what I'm like thinking of physically making, I wouldn't really try to talk about that, but like ideas, I love sharing thought and I love sharing you know, because I believe that like one idea isn't just for one sole person. I feel like
yeah.
all of us are vessels, and the idea kind of like flows through all of us, and whoever decides to catch it and do something of it. But yeah, I always think about like, oh, you know, like, oh, I want to make this big painting of this, and then I'll never make it. So if I talk about it, like literally. So I tend to try to not speak of physical work, but like ideas and broad themes that I'm thinking about. I keep conversation on that.
Yeah, right. So if it's like an actual, like, oh, this specific like big painting or like series or something, so but the thematic elements is what you enjoy kind of like exploring. And like, is there a theme at the moment that you're like exploring, or things that you're like interested in, like with your work?
Yeah, I think I'm quite materially driven. So like at the base of it, I'm always trying to like push how much memory like a material has. So I could be like staining the fabric and then like scrubbing it off, things like that. But I kind of place my personal experiences within like a Hindu mythological framework, and and see it as like a way to maybe like carry on the story instead of like just accepting one closure or one truth. Like keep that story in circulation, and it takes away the authority of it as well.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
What about you? What sort of things have you been thinking about lately?
I feel like at the moment I've been building up a lot of different kind of projects. Like I've shown different performances, or they're usually kind of one-off performances, but I feel like they've kind of built up over time, and I'm in this development stage where the past couple of years I've had mentors who are like performance artists, and they're so generous with their like knowledge and giving of their time too, and I've been trying to just really grow in my practice in like the development stages, because I think I just need a bit more time to research and explore more to then create a production or a series and things like that as well. But yeah, I've been kind of dabbling in between like visual arts as well as performance and movement. So that's why it's like really nice to talk with you too, because I kind of like how both of our practices are quite different, but I think the lines of thought are quite it's not similar, but I feel like we could have lots of touch points, I guess, in them. Because when you were talking about memory as well, and I think as diaspora artists, it's quite, memory is such a huge element. It's like what we remember from when we were a child, and kind of the memories that I feel like my mum or my grandma might have told me, and it's like it's not actually my memories, but I hold that. I wonder, like, is it actually my memory, or is it because they've told me so many times that I have this? And it's like the myths as well. Like, do you think, is it mainly from your family that you've like heard about the mythology of like from, Hinduism and like all of that, or was it kind of things that you learned at school? Yeah.
I think it was like a bit of both. Like, just like I remember sitting around the TV, and then it was like a family ordeal that we watched, like the Ramayana cartoon or like the filmed Mahabharata. And yeah, it's just like I'm interested in how culture is organized around a religion. And yeah, I think it's just the idea of these norms, these patriarchal norms that are like placed on us, and what are we taking away from these stories? Like, what are we remembering, and how can we maybe remember them differently in a different light?
Yeah.
that's sort of what I think about in my practice.
Yeah.
How do you use stories within your work?
Yeah, I think most of my works is all from my lived experience, like from my own, like I've had to experience that grief or kind of this isolation or like community and all of that, to be able to then put that within my work. Or yeah, I feel like for some reason I always go back to that whole, like, I can't take the diaspora out of me. It's just like that part of my identity is always rooted within my practice. I don't want to be like just an Asian artist, but it's like that my stories are folded within my work. So but I like playing with these ideas. For example, like the performance that Songhan and I did with the toad house, and basically it's like you put your hand on the sand and you create a mound over it, and then you take your hand out and it's like a little toad house. And we created this performance piece where we covered our bodies with sand, and then talked about the, like, what does a loving home mean, or just like the fragility of homes and a safe loving home, and kind of all of that. And yeah, I think that game as a child, I feel like other Korean artists that I've talked to who are based in Korea, they're like, oh, we don't remember these like nostalgic games as much because they're just part of our lives and then we move on. But I feel like for you it's something very important because that's a tangible kind of memory, or it's like kind of, it's within us, like, and we kind of take that continuously within our work as well. Yeah.
And how it's like kind of shaped from distance as well, like you know, like how are we carrying on the memory of something that is just like a little game.
Yeah. Or again, like a myth, and it's like maybe it's not as, I don't know, evident to them, or I've been kind of thinking a lot about how do I, like, what is my work saying, like, in different contexts, like when I showed my work in Korea versus like showing my work in New Zealand. Like, I know where I stand here, but then going back, it was almost like this, I don't know, this switch where I was like, oh, will people relate to what I'm saying, because I'm from New Zealand, and because like, how did you find that because you recently showed, or are you showing at the moment in India?
I am. I think the show's on for like another week.
Oh, nice.
I'm showing at a gallery in India, in New Delhi, and I'm finding it quite interesting how the people are accepting my work, or
the response.
The response has been quite positive, and I'm also enjoying how the curator is able to like connect the other artists to my work as well. Like I think I'm finding it that I almost don't need to over explain a lot. I feel like the work is already read from because there's already like a cultural context that the people already have, and so I'm not, as a painter, you don't really want to keep explaining certain backstories because you don't want to be telling, you want to be showing more. And I'm sitting with that, how to not overshare when I'm showing in Aotearoa, like sharing just enough so that you can kind of sneak inside my brain a little bit. How do you feel about sharing about your work?
Yeah, I think I overshare so much. I think I'm such an overthinker.
I love that.
And I really struggle with it. I feel like I write so much more text than it needs to be, because I'm like, how do I really explain the feeling of this? I feel like I could just leave it as that, but I'm just like, oh, will people really understand? But I think I'm understanding more and more, like, oh, I don't need to say it all. Like, the work will speak for itself, and other people will gain from it however they want. And I think that leaving it up to the interpretation of the audience is like more important than me trying to like force feed someone my own ways of like, this is how I've created this, and yada yada yada, which is really important too. But also it's like, oh, it's actually, yeah, I feel like I'm making from my own lived experience, and then so that other people with their own lived experiences as well can, you know, relate to some parts. Because it's like, as a human being, we all live our lives in very varied ways, but it's like we have these touch points of empathy, and arts is such the connector of all of that, like of all these experiences, of all these feelings. And I just think that's why it's so important to keep kind of telling our stories, as much as I think we talked about this too, which I wanted to I really enjoyed when you were like, with your work as well, how you also rewrite these mythology and like these myths. And you said in a way it could be almost like a self, I'm like putting words to your mouth, like, how do I explain it? But it's like it could be almost narcissistic, or like it's about you in a way, but then I don't see it in that way. And you said something about like owning that instead of just being like, oh, I am putting my own self into my own painting, or because I think of that too. It's like I am the performer in a lot of my works. I am the main kind of medium or material, like my body is the material. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, it's me again. So yeah, I wanted to ask, like, how do you feel about that? Is there any like imposter syndrome with that, or is it kind of are you kind of just owning the fact that you're putting more of yourself, or like rewriting your own like myths?
I find it quite like, I find it more comfortable to put myself within the tales, because I just feel like I'm I don't know about you, but I'm actually making things that I want to see. Like, you know, like a lot of the time.
Yes.
And also like I think I'm also kind of understand what it means to be a queer woman of South Asian descendants, you know, like, you know, I'm openly queer, and I think that's I think I place my own experiences within these myths, because there isn't that much queerness within the myths, or they've just been kind of hidden away so that it's so ambiguous that you don't quite know if it's queer either. Or like those facts are kind of forgotten, and those paintings, the miniatures, are kind of like hidden away or kind of stolen. And what about you? How are you finding you were saying you place yourself. You've also been doing quite a few collaborations.
Yes.
How are you finding those?
Oh, like, so enriching. And but the thing is, it's like, even if it's a solo work that I do, it's usually involving quite a lot of different friends and people. Like, for example, like the sound, the costume, the lighting, the this direction, dramaturgy, like all of these elements. Like, even if it's a solo work, even if it's a video work and I'm editing it, I'm in it, like, but someone else has filmed it, like all of that elements. So I'm trying to understand that I'm also building up different skills, like video editing or graphic design, all of those things.
Jack of all trades.
yeah. It's just because I'm like really I think it's just I'm like undiagnosed ADHD, just like wanting to do it all, just like trying it all out really, and then just being just owning it that I'm not an expert in all of these areas, but I'm keen to keep dabbling in all these elements. But yeah, the collaborations have really been life-giving for me. And yeah, my fellow peers and friends, I don't know, like after each collaboration I feel so like my heart is so filled, like it feels so good afterwards. And yeah, it's been beautiful. Yeah, I've realized like we've not really gone on this properly. So the I think we've kind of covered like the creativity, like, or like how do you feel about your like creative process at the moment? Like where do you feel like you're you're sitting?
I actually feel like I'm riding a bit of a peak of a wave right now.
Amazing.
And I feel like, there was a bit of a drought, but
yes, of course,
with all artists, I think you probably understand that as well.
Yeah.
Like, all of us go through the peaks and troughs, but actually knowing to just keep going and like make through that drought, I think that's something that's really important that I've learned through the years. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of ideas that are flowing right now, and I'm actually just trying to catch them, and I've been drawing heaps, and I'm pretty excited to make this large tent structure with my friend Sahana. We're going to be showing at PlayStation at the end of this year, and we're calling it "How many dikes does it take to pitch a tent?" So we'll see if if we can manage the two of us. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah. So I feel like I'm really excited about just making and getting back in the studio.
That's great.
Yeah.
What a great place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, we know what it's like when, I don't know, that whole drought element where it feels really rough, like, to keep going. And then, so it's so nice to hear that you're like, it's feeling really good. Like, that in itself is, like, such a, I don't know, it's something to be like celebrated, but also like that should just be the norm. I feel like it should be really good, like it should be really good to make, but it's not always the case.
I feel like we just need to remember that we're not always gonna make our best work, and just to like push through that. Like sometimes you're gonna make shit work, and that's okay. Like you need to be able to fail. Like I think we chatted about this the other day as well, and then kind of like let the soil kind of regenerate, and then you regrow from that. Like you need to be able to experiment and not like your work. And
how else are you going to keep moving forward with your ideas in different ways if there's no room for like failure? And we've talked about, because there's like less opportunities to present in New Zealand, it feels like what you're presenting should be the best of the best sometimes. And that's kind of it's quite toxic when you're thinking in that way. So what else do we have?
How do you feel about community, and how do you bring community within your practice?
So my works, my projects, basically, so I run my own collective called Jang Huddle, and everyone's like, is your name Jang Huddle? Like they're just like, what is this? And basically for me, the ethos is whoever collaborates with me is like part of this huddle, and it's like we're just like a collective together, and like I'm kind of just the driving force of that. But for me it's like it doesn't have to be a community orientated project for it to be community. And so like within the process of making a work, it's like I try and have these this inclusivity within the process of making a work too, which is, it's hard to kind of explain, but trying to create more safer spaces, I guess, where we could like collaborate a bit more, where other people can pitch in their ideas and things together. But my own practice as well, like I have a lot of passion for community dance and community arts as well, and bridging the gap between just community, as in anyone else who's willing or open to the arts, and for artists as well. Like, I think there's a whole barrier for people as we get older. Like Stephen and I talk about this a lot too. Like, as a child, you don't get taught to sing and dance. That's just naturally what we do. We're just so creative and free and playful, but that play kind of gets dampened over time, and we get jaded. And it's so much harder to bring that creativity back again, that people find it, that there's a barrier, like, oh, I'm not an artist, I'm not a creative, I'm not a dancer, I can't dance. It's like a huge thing where people are like, oh, you dance, it's amazing, like, I can't dance. And it's like that whole stance is quite interesting for me. And it's like, how do we make it less of a barrier, and like, how do we connect just the regular public to art in different ways, or in ways that they're just like, oh, like, I don't know, like that they can stumble upon it, or they're like actively part of it, all those ways, all those touch points. But yeah, I'm just rambling, but yeah.
Yeah. How important is community for you?
Yeah, I think well, I grew up very more isolated, actually, because it's like single mom, only child, so I didn't have a lot of people, like my family wise, alongside us in New Zealand, but we always had people in and out of our house. Like, we always lived with other families. We had multiple families stay, or multiple people stay, and like my mum ran like a sushi business, and so there's always like staff members, and we're part of this church as well, so it was like always people. And so I kind of am used to having lots of people around, and all of that. So I think community in that way, like, is really important. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I maintain that in my adult life, where we're all individually so busy, and like all my friends are just like me, they're all so busy, and it's like, how do we can't even line up our schedules for a dinner. How do we live with, like, stay in touch, not just sending like memes to each other? Like, how do we actually like see each other regularly? And I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I do more community orientated aspects, as well as have this community for myself and my own, like, my people as well, or the people that I trust around me, to be able to like guide me to be able to do more other things too. But yeah, how about you? What does community look like for you? Or who's in your community at the moment, I guess.
I think community is really important for me, like, especially as like a queer brown artist. I think when I was younger, I used to like romanticize this idea of like being like a lone painter in the studio. There's no one there.
Solitude.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just like, oh, that's making it. It's when you have a big space and you don't need to share it with anyone. It's like, no, actually, like, my life right now is feels like it's filled with community, and I feel so connected to my studio mates, to like the people around as well in Parnell. It's also really nice to like sit with your friends and just people watch at Parnell.
It's actually such an interesting studio space, because it's right at the train station.
Yeah,
and
there's
like,
always movement.
Yeah. Always people coming in and out, like that liminal space, and you always feel like you're surrounded by people.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Even if I'm alone in the studio, I feel like, there's a hustle and bustle, which maybe I kind of miss from like back home, because I was born in Kolkata, so maybe there's like a little bit where I miss that, like, beep beep beep, the honking all night long. But I feel like I enjoy even like my studio when there's no one there, but I see that there's been movement within the other spaces. I'm like, okay, things are flowing, things are being made. But I think community for me is like showing up for for your friends and
Yes.
their friends and what they
Yes.
get up to and kind of what shows they have or performances and just showing up really. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also the kind of person that like gets recharged after
Yeah.
having a conversation, or may not seem like it because I'm a bit quiet, but I actually really enjoy being around people.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you the same?
Yeah, I do. But then I think I do it to the point where I'm like, okay, I really can't anymore.
I just need to sleep
Yeah,
for
I
24
really
hours.
just need to like face plant on my bed. Like, I like do it to the extent where it's like, oh no, you really pushed your limit now. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've seen too many people.
But you know, there's something about that. You're putting yourself like, you know, quite in a vulnerable state when you're performing. Like that's a lot. I don't know if I could do that, you know? Like,
Would you ever want to like perform? Like
never say never.
Oh yeah, good, great.
Oh, you might need to teach me how to dance though.
Yeah,
first.
But like, is performance like something that you may or may not be interested in?
Not anytime soon. So,
Oh, that might change. We'll see.
yeah. No, I've never thought about it though. I think I'm quite a like shy person in like large audiences. I think I have better conversation in like smaller groups, and so performance always felt very daunting to me. That like it's like, yeah, you're putting your most vulnerable, you know, like your rawest side.
Yes.
To just get judged, I guess. Or maybe that's my perception.
Yeah. Or like there's a flip side. There's obviously that's it too. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's also, it's like I can put on a persona, or it's like another self of. I feel like it's a really raw version of myself that I can show that I don't get to show with my other friends and people. Like, for example, the performance that Stephen and I did in the silos. We were walking and singing, and it was quite a meditative like process, and we had these beautiful shoes that Stephen created with these bells, and you can hear the clinking of the bells as well as our voices, and we were singing as well. And someone was like, oh, you were so like bubbly and like chatty right before, and then as soon as it's performance time, I was just like straight into it, like just really serious. And
you channeled it.
Yeah, and
wow.
I kind of enjoy that I can kind of switch to that element where it's like another part of me, and I can keep pushing myself to showcase different, like, I feel like there's different sides to a person, and it's I think it's great to keep pushing that, but it's not easy. I don't think it's ever easy. I'm always nervous before doing something, or I'm like kind of disassociating.
I love that.
I'm just like, this isn't happening. This is not real.
So it's like are you like out of your body, just like
a little bit. Yeah.
I love that.
But you kind of have to have both. You have to be out and in. Yeah.
True.
But yeah. Oh yeah, we talked a bit about connection. Yeah. I think one thing I wanted to say something about community was I think I did talk a bit about this anyway, but I'm trying to figure out like how have you found it as well, like holding spaces, maybe like this could be personally or even artistically, like holding spaces not only for your own artistic practice but like for other people as well, and how do we keep giving as well as like not burning out, and I say it within my own practice as well, because I have a tendency where I go all in so hard at a project, and then I just burn out, and then I just get exhausted. And I think that's just part of the production side of things. You know, we have all these rehearsals, all these like lineups, and then it's post-show blues as well after the run of the show, and then it's done, and then you kind of, that's it. So I don't know if you find that with like showing your work in different places and things like that too, but how do you, how have you found that? Because I think maybe with visual artists it's different, because it's like you're continuously working on your like craft and your like what you're wanting to show. So I don't know if you have that kind of like after a showing you're kind of like exhausted type of thing.
Sometimes I guess, but those are again like the peaks and troughs of like
Yes.
the sort of creative flow. And I think I just have faith in the system, like all my processes. I just know that I'll be able to come out of this sort of like how you said post-show blues.
Yes.
But I think something that I want to do a bit more that I used to do back in the day when I had a space on Dominion Road is like invite more of my friends to come and make. Like I used to love doing that, and we'd all just have like a little sesh and just like kind of make together, which was so lovely. Just hold space for each other, chit chat, catch up, and it was sort of like a monthly kind of thing. Definitely want to kind of get back to doing something like that, but I think I've been making excuses like, oh, there's not enough space, even though the space is way bigger. Like, oh, there's like a massive table in the middle, like but
or like time, like oh, I don't have enough time, or when's good for everyone, or that kind of thing too.
It all kind of adds up, but I think almost just needing to just put it out, and then not putting pressure on who comes or who doesn't come, just open the space up and do it. So hopefully I've like been sowing the seeds around. Hopefully I can do a workshop somewhere soon.
That's exciting.
What about you? Are you thinking of anything community wise, or
well, I would love to create a really large work with like hundreds of people type of vibe. Like that's like something that I would love to do, like where everyone's moving together in some way. I don't know how we're gonna do it or things like that, but that's the kind of like a big dream. But also I've been finding it kind of hard to get back into, because my schedule's been so out of whack, and I'm leaving soon as well to again, but it's been hard to like be like, oh, I want to do my workshops again and have people come by and dance together, even though I really miss our like, I used to do these community contemporary dance workshops, and I miss whoever comes to those and all of that. But I think I'm like not actually in a place where I can open my like practice up at the moment. I feel really more like closed in and need to like hone into what I want to do and what I need for myself. And I feel like I've been very more like insular these days. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but what does spirituality like look like for you?
I think spirituality looks like being connected to the people around me, and also just remembering my ancestors who brought me to this place right now, you know, like who's fought for me to just be able to like think and paint, like just be grateful, like fuck, what I'm living a dream right now, right? Like and just remember my queer ancestors who kind of have struggled for me to just walk and exist and persist, and how spiritual would you say you are?
I would say I'm quite spiritual. I'm not part of a religious like institution anymore, but I have my own faith, and I still like pray often, and I would say that it's still, again, it's like the diaspora aspect. I can't take it out of my story. It's the same with like faith, God, and all of that. Like that part still folds in within my work, as much as I don't want to talk about it sometimes. it's still folded in, and I really think spirituality and art practice, they come hand in hand. Whether you say that you're not a spiritual person or not, I still feel like there's definitely this connection with one another. And yeah, I really want to keep leaning into that and understanding for myself, like, what does that mean? And because I used to feel the sense of guilt, maybe, of like, oh, I don't know if this is what I should be doing, or I don't know, like, this is the path carved out for me, because we're making paths that aren't carved out for us. Like, even though there's all these generations before that have like led me to this point of being able to be an artist, but then it's like, but now what? Now it's just like me kind of figuring it out, which is, there's a freedom to that, but also a dauntingness to it. And that's why it's like the daunting part, I'm really having to lean into, where I get my strength from, and where I want to keep, hopefully spreading like good joy with other people, like in that. It's like, I don't know, I can keep going on about Stephen and I can talk for days about spirituality, but it's,
I wish I was like a little fly on the wall for that kind of conversation.
Well, it's mainly just him talking, and I'm just like but like, girl, I've got the mic. But it's, I think it like I said, it just goes hand in hand. And I think I'm continuously praying for my friends and praying for my fellow peers too, and it's like, that's also a community in itself, being able to talk about your faith and mental health and your art practice. Like, those three things have their own like stigmas attached to them and all of that too, but I feel like being able to chat about those things with other people that I'm really close to, like, makes such a difference.
Finish these sentences. I'm in the flow when
I am in nature.
Ooh. I'm inspired by
my fellow peers and creatives.
I'd love to be known for
that person who keeps doing dance things in parks and weird spaces. Okay, so I'm in flow when there's music on and my studio mates are in and we're all just jamming together. I'm inspired by
definitely my peers and other makers around me.
I'd love to be known for
my DIY dykeness. I don't know, just make do.
I love that. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this conversation and inviting me here. That was great.
Oh, of course. Well, it wasn't me, it was Jenna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.